Hey, Lizard guy here, and today I am doing a Resonite tool tier list. For those who aren't familiar with tier lists, it's pretty simple. There's S rank to F rank, let me get that frame, F rank, and I'm going to be going through every default Resonite tool and rating them based on how useful they are. The first tool is the Dev tool. The Dev tool, I think, is probably the most useful tool in the game. It is essential for selecting things, destroying things, inspecting things. You can do almost everything with a Dev tool if you really try hard enough. And because of that, I think I'm going to put it in S rank. The next tool is the Protoflux tool. This tool, I think, is pretty essential too. Technically, there are ways you could use the dev tip to sort of do Protoflux, but generally you need the Protoflux tool to do a majority of the things in this game. So I think that one is also an easy S tier. Let's put that right up there. Next up is the material tool. The material tool is pretty simple. You can take a material from something and then put it onto another thing. It is an incredibly useful tool. It has a lot of special options like being able to paint areas or replace all instances of material, but technically everything you can do with a material tool you could do with the dev tip, and because of that, I am putting the material tool in A tier. Next up is the glue tool. The glue tool is pretty simple. It lets you glue multiple objects into one object. Its most useful feature is it can bake multiple meshes into one singular mesh, which is something I use a lot because I like making things out of primitive shapes or a lot of non-uniformly scaled meshes. So because of that, I think it is an easy A tier. Next up is the grabbable setter tip. The grabbable setter tip is pretty simple. It can make something grabbable and make something not grabbable. While it can be useful while setting up worlds, I don't think it ends up being that useful because it can feel very imprecise sometimes. So because of that, I think I'm putting it in B tier. Next is the character collider setter tool. The character collider setter tool can be useful. It has a lot of weird functionalities in it, like being able to mess with locomotion stuff and obviously changing if something is collidable for players or not, but I've never found it super useful, and because of that, I think I'm going to have to give it a D tier. And there it goes. Next up is the color tool, one of my favorite looking tools in the game. You can take the colors of things and then set the colors of things. I think it is a cool idea, but it doesn't end up being particularly useful. So with that, I think I'm going to put it in E tier. Next up is the component clone tool. This tool used to be incredibly useful, but now we can just copy components without needing any tools. It still has very niche use cases, like applying a component from a template, but in general, I think this one I'd put in D tier. And there it goes. Next is the mesh visibility tool. This one can toggle if a mesh is visible and it's shadow casting. It ends up just being a shortcut with something I always end up just doing with the dev tool. So I think this is going to be my first F tier. Next up is the camera object hider tool. This one's pretty cool. You can have an object, click it, and I can still see this, but the camera can't. This is an incredibly useful tool, but also pretty niche. So I think this one is going to be a B tier. Next up is the object slicer tool. It lets you click on something and it creates a slicing plane, which lets you cut into the mesh like this. It essentially is just doing stuff to a material shader. So it's just a shortcut for something you can do other ways. I do think it is very fun, but I've never found it particularly useful. So I think this is going to be my first C tier. Actually, this one feels D tier. Next is the rig transfer tool. I've heard this one working for people, but I've never had it work nicely for me. So I honestly do not know what to rate it. So I'm just going to put it on the desk. It looks like a lava lamp. Next up is the mesh tool. This one's pretty nice. You can point at a mesh, click, and then it gives you the mesh. Like, here's the mesh of my table. It's useful. I like using these orbs to save mesh assets, but I've never really used its other functionality of applying meshes. So I think I'm going to put this one in C tier, the first C tier. Next up is the light tool. This tool is the pinnacle of tools. It lets you create lights. You can also turn it into sun mode and move the sun by pointing. I love this tool. It is very nice. So I think this one deserves to go into A tier. Next is the microphone tool. It is an S tier tool. It is an S tier tool. Next is the shape tool. This tool's kind of neat. It lets you draw out shapes, but the way it draws, it's not corner to corner. It's you start and that becomes the center of your shape. So it's not super useful. It is a nice debug tool, so I think I'm going to put it in C. Next up are the pens. The pens are awesome. Drawing is just fun. There's a few different types of pens, but I'm just going to group these all as being one pen, and that's going in S tier. Next up is the meter tool. It lets you measure the distance between two things. It's a funny tool. I've never found it actually useful, so I think it is going in E tier. Next is the labeler tool. It lets you place labels on things. It is a very funny tool. I use it a lot for just jokes, but it's not actually super useful as a tool. But because of how funny it is, I think it deserves to go in C. Next is the controller diagnostics tool. This tool, it's a debug tool. It's cool, I guess. Most of this is stuff you can get other ways, and I always forget this tool exists. So I'm just going to put it in F and continue forgetting about it. And last of all, the mesh plane tool. This is a pretty new one. You can make like a plane, and then you can cut holes in it. It's a very interesting tool. I think it's kind of neat. I don't know how useful it is yet because it hasn't been around for long, but I think I'll put it in C tier. That seems like a good spot. And with that, that is the tier list of tools in my personal opinion. This was kind of a dumb video, but thank you for watching. This is Lizard Guy signing out. Bye!